Hello and welcome. My name is Nate McGee and I'm the Technical Director here at Sensemetrics. I'd like to personally thank you for tuning in. In today's episode of our video series, we'll be focusing on IoT sensor connectivity with the unboxing and setup of our flagship product, the sensemetrics Thread. The Thread provides users a simple solution to build adaptive and secure edge sensor networks. The device supports both direct and wireless connectivity of a wide range of industry standard sensors and has an onboard edge compute environment, which we'll dive into in one of our more advanced tutorials. Today we are going to focus on a general overview of the Thread's components, features, and setup process. For those of you who are familiar with sensor automation, you will likely understand the complexity and pain that has historically come along with designing, integrating, deploying, and maintaining a sensor automation system, often involving technical configuration of many different components purchased from a long list of manufacturers and providers. What sensemetrics offers is a completely different user experience. We have developed a unified approach to sensor deployment that promises a plug-and-play process of connecting sensors in the field and immediate secure access to sensor data and analytics from your browser or mobile phone, all of which can be accomplished within minutes. The Thread is just one piece of the overall solution developed by sensemetrics, but an important one for users to understand as it is one of the most visible and physical components. With that, I think it's time we open this guy up and see just what I'm talking about. Upon opening, you will see that each Thread comes with a quick start card with a QR code that can be scanned for immediate access to a product manual and setup instructions covering much of the process they'll be walking through in today's video. As I first pull the accessories and then the Thread from the box, you will notice that it is easy to handle and has a durable ABS enclosure. The device has an ingress protection or IP rating of 66, meaning that it is dust tight and protected against heavy seas or powerful jets of water. This is the rating just below IP67, which is protected against full water immersion, which is of course not the intended application for this product. So right out of the box, the device can be installed and left in the field. This particular model supports 3 modes of communication: Ethernet or network connection available here, cellular through this antenna port here, as well as sub-gigahertz low power long range wireless mesh through this antenna port here. While discussing the modes of connectivity supported by the Thread, it's important to note that the Thread will intelligently manage all of these modes of communication, prioritizing the most efficient path for the device to secure a connection to the cloud. When connected by either cellular or Ethernet, the device will automatically configure itself as a gateway and begin broadcasting its availability to support connection of other wireless devices in proximity. This could be other Threads, third-party connectivity devices, or smart sensors. In cases where both cellular and Ethernet connections are available, the Thread can be configured to prioritize one or the other. By default, it prioritizes Ethernet and will fail over to cellular communication if that primary wired connection is lost, but either priority can be defined depending on the application. If both high-speed modes of communication are unavailable, the Thread will adaptively search and connect to the most proximal thread still operating as a gateway as a means of establishing a secure connection to the cloud. This logic makes the Thread as a device and the associated network it forms the most resilient edge connectivity solution available on the market today. Of added benefit, the Thread constantly gathers diagnostic data from all of these modes of communication and streams that back to the cloud for access by system administrators. The previously mentioned N-type antenna connectors support attachment of a compatible antenna or connection of a coaxial cable to route the associated signal to a more advantageous location on a master tower for longer range communication, or an antenna mounting position outside of a building for better signal. Today, I'll just attach the direct antennas that are supplied with the device. In addition to connectivity, there are several other aspects of the thread that I'd like to show you today. On the bottom of the thread, you'll find the power button with an integrated LED. If I give this button a push, you'll see that the LED begins to sequence through a full color spectrum, indicating that the thread is in a boot sequence. This should take roughly 60 seconds, but while this guy's booting, let's dig into the LED a bit more. The LED is your first line of troubleshooting and general information gathering on how a thread is performing before you ever open your computer or mobile device. The LED will display different colors that can be used to determine what a thread is doing. A lot of this information is covered in the Quick Start Guide I mentioned earlier, but to review some of the basics, the full color spectrum indicates that a thread is booting up. A slow green pulse indicates that the thread is powered up and has a secured connection to the cloud. A slow red pulse indicates that the thread is powered but remains disconnected. And a quick blue blink indicates that the thread is currently in low power mode. This is a mode specifically developed to conserve battery life. Lastly, a quick yellow blink indicates that the thread is currently hibernating due to a low battery state. Now, let's take a look at several of the standard accessories available for the thread. For starters, you can see that each thread comes with a rigid aluminum back plate already attached for mounting the thread to a wall or pole. Notice the back plate bracket comes with threaded holes on the lower corners of the device to install grounding lugs. When installing, we highly recommend it is properly connected to an earth ground to increase the device's protection against transient surges. You'll also notice the brackets have been designed both with centered mounting holes as well as slotted holes, so U-bolts can be used to mount the thread directly to a pole up to 4 inches in diameter. For those of you that would like additional details regarding alternative mounting configurations, please contact me at the address provided at the end of this video. Another bundled accessory is the network port adapter. This adapter is roughly 6 inches in length and allows an Ethernet cable to be connected to the weather-resistant network port on the device. You'll notice this IP-rated connector has a dot on it, which must be aligned with the stripe on the network port before inserting to avoid damage to either. The last accessory that comes with every thread are the port covers. I highly encourage you to insert these into any unused port on the device to reduce corrosion and prolong the effective life of the product. You'll see that there are 2 types of covers, a smaller diameter for the network port and a larger diameter for the device ports. Speaking of the device ports, you'll notice that each thread has 3 labeled 1 to 3 inside to out. The device ports support a number of different digital and analog interface protocols, including USB, RS-232, RS-485, milliamp, as well as switched DC power. The logic, or drivers, used to configure these interfaces can be set up or changed at any time by logging into your cloud account from your web browser or mobile app, available both on iPhone and Android. More details regarding the wide range of configurations that can be applied to support sensor connections will be covered in another video in our series. The last port we've yet to discuss is the power port. This port can be connected directly to either a regulated power supply or an unregulated power supply like a photovoltaic panel. For solar applications, a 12-volt panel up to 160 watts in size can be directly connected. The size of the panel required will of course vary based on your latitude, climate, and the power consumption of your attached sensors. Additionally, sensemetrics offers AC power supplies like this part here, which is provided with many different regional plug types for international compatibility. Whichever power supply is required for a particular installation, it will be used to charge and maintain the thread's internal battery pack. The 9.9 amp hour extended capacity battery is designed to operate across wide temperature ranges and to support continued and reliable operation of the device even when powering a diverse range of high-powered sensors like cameras, flow meters, weather stations, shape arrays, or robotic total stations. You'll notice that the LED on the thread is now pulsing green, indicating it is securely connected to the cloud. At this point, we are ready to proceed with securely associating this device with the user's cloud account and configuring it to automate data collection from a sensor. To walk through these next steps with me, or to check out any of our other tutorial videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or visit the video link provided. See you again soon.